Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game that we're making. When we last left off, we were just about done with Buttertown here. We're currently burning up Jenny's house. I think the next thing I'm going to do is kind of tear things up over here. So let's go ahead and have a little bit of this. Need to fix that up a little bit though. Turn off autofix so that it doesn't seal it up. We need to make sure we have the impression that, hey, there was supposed to be a perfectly functional wall here. In fact, we can have it kind of like this. And I'm also going to that kind of blends in with the wall already in the rear there, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and actually do that. And what else can we do? Possibly have some damage on this side? Yeah, a little bit of damage over here wouldn't hurt. So we could have it also like so over here. It does kind of look like there's supposed to be like a way out there to get a secret, but nah, I'm not gonna do that. Not this time. Oh yeah, something else I wanted to do was turn autofix back on. We're going to kind of do something different with the bed here. The bed will have mostly been burned away, so what I'm gonna do is get rid of it and head into the burned house. We're gonna give this bed graphic, well, a bed event, a graphic. We're going to use, did I already pass it up? No. This is a graphic that I probably should have looked up its location ahead of time, but it's not going to take long to figure out where it is. There's only so many possible graphics. And wouldn't you know it, it's the very last small graphic. We'll go with that graphic. That color, that is. So there's our bed situation situated. For funsies, I'll also put a little flame here. That's fairly early in the list, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Could be midway through the list. And do I want to do anything special with the door? Possibly not. Nah, I'll leave the door alone. It's a gold jail cell door. We won't be mean about it. We'll just leave it alone. And that'll be that. That said, there's something else I wanted to do in Buttertown that I kind of forgot. In the burn version of Buttertown, when we first enter this map, I forgot to ask the player if they want to save again. And it's just as well that I remember to do this because I currently have it set to turn off these switches every time we enter this map. Even though we don't want to do that. So I'll just go ahead and kind of fix this. We'll go ahead and let's see here. Alright, here's what I'll do. So, the first page is going to do all this stuff. And take over to the tree. The tree will not be something we can interact with, so let's go ahead and do not start. Also, don't default color. We want to keep it black when we enter this scene. Do you want to save Because as a reminder, before the memory card change, I asked the player if they want to save. I also want to offer the player to save after the memory card change, that way they don't have to do the memory card change again. It's kind of redundant, but I wanted to have options depending on the player's preference. Two-way choice, yes and no. Yes is going to save. And I also remembered back in the intro event, we're going to want to make sure that there's no music playing whenever this is started. So save point, and after they save, then we get to getting the screen back to its normal color, because it ended the memory card being completely black. So now we need to lighten it back up. We also need to get the music playing again. And we need that to happen regardless of whether they choose yes or no. The only difference being saving. Oh yeah, and we're also going to want to use up a switch. So we're going to use switch number 3 for this. Card 2 started is what I'm going to label this switch in my notes. And just so that I don't have to turn it on in both instances of yes and no, I'll just go ahead and have it turned on here. So 3 and 3. In fact, it's a good thing that I would have it turned on right here, because the save point is before the song is changed to Town 1 and that sort of thing, which I'm also going to have once... Oops, no. So basically, what I'm doing here, this here is the page that takes place when the second memory card starts, and then right here is going to be the page once it's already started. And these are going to be the conditions or the stuff that's going to happen when we get here. And of course we're going to... Well, no, we don't need to default the screen location, but we do need to move the party to their current position. In fact, what I'm going to also do here... Oops, that was the wrong point. It doesn't matter. So they start off by walking all the way to the bottom and then move up. So here is the basic process of events when we start the memory card, just to give you an understanding of what's going on. So we start on page 1, all this stuff gets turned off, the music is turned off, and we take over to this event, which turns on switch 3 and asks us if we want to save, at which point we would save. Now, after the player saves, and assuming they reset the game, that means this other stuff is not going to trigger yet. So what we need to make sure is that once they reload the game, that's when this page would take effect. And of course that allows the music to kick in and have them move to the proper positions and have the screen fade in. So that is the process of events. In fact, I'm going to simplify things here a little bit. Possibly... Yeah. I'm going to not have this be the thing to move the player. Oh wait, no. I'm going to have this be the thing to not move the player. Therefore, when we start or reload the game will be here, and the player will be moved to this point as the page is loaded up and that sort of thing. And with that out of the way, let me kind of poke around here. Not that Jenny's house, but the burned house. I think that's about it. At least in regards to this town. Oop, not the Inferno. Let me see. Anything else in the shop I would want to do? I can't think of anything. Oh wait, actually, something I'm going to eventually do is have this lady have some new Did You Know messages. I already know what messages that I want to have her give, but I'm gonna wait on that just a little bit. There's a certain point in time in this series that I am currently streaming and recording that I would want to bring it up, and right now I don't want to bring it up yet. I will at the very least turn her into a skeleton, just like everybody else. So with that out of the way, yeah, we're ready to move on. It is time to start creating the final dungeon. After I have the player explore this place. Actually, let me double check here. Has the floating island already been triggered? Oh. Well, then I don't need to do anything. Daristrix is... Oh, wait, never mind. Daristrix is still a regular dragon. There's something that I messed up here. Well, so much for being ready to move on. Switch 3 is turned on. Now, which one was the dragon? I did something wrong, and I'm not entirely sure what it is. Let me look at the dragon here. Once he had Daristrix, switch on to... Here, let's go ahead and simplify things. I'm going to reload the test play, the raw file. Because I'm pretty sure when I loaded this up, switch 2 and 3 were off. No, now they're on. Really? Clearly I have done something wrong here. I mean, it's not just me, right? 2 and 3 were turned off when I loaded it up before. Okay, I see what's going on here now. I don't know why it was having those options off earlier. It's kind of weird that. But basically, what I need to do is trigger the end of the previous memory card again. So, guess that's what we're going to do. So I just now saved that. Now we load the first scenario card back up. Do the test play. Alright. And a card 1, would you like to save? Sure, we'll go ahead and save. We'll create a hard save here. And yeah, I'm definitely satisfied with the dun dun dun. It's not quite a dun dun dun, but it's as good as it's gonna get. And of course we have the situation where we're on test play, so we can't have a proper memory card change in test play. While I'm thinking about it, by the way, there was something else I wanted to do in memory card 1, just real quick. After the dun dun dun. Shift screen right. I actually want to shift screen not 14 to the right, but how much did I write down? 12. 12 spaces to the right. So we'll save scenario 1 with that little change real quick. Down below are backup copies. I'm not going to touch them right now. Alright, and now we'll load memory card 2. And now all that stuff I was doing with the introduction of this memory card we'll get to see in action now. So the player would kind of... No, basically what would happen at this point is we're loading the test play because we need to continue it, but the player will not have to load anything except for the next memory card. Once that's loaded, then it would be at this point here. Well, thank goodness we're test playing. Something else I wanted to do here, apparently. What is it? Ah, it's that. Okay. Yes, alright, I know what to do. Switch off 2 and 3 and 10 is what that's doing, apparently. And we'll load up scenario 1 again. And at the end of the dun dun dun, before offering the chance to save, switch off 2 and 3 as well as 10 here. That way those will be off once the next memory card starts up. Make sure we're saving on the right memory card. It's a little confusing having them both be the same name. As a reminder, they kind of have to be the same name for the sake of testing. Now, we already saved past that point, so I'm going to have to do some finagling here. I'm going to create a random guy here just real quick and have it so that when we bump into him, switch 2 and 3 are off, as well as switch 10. We're going to change the screen really dark. Is there anything else I want to do in preparation for this? Nope, that's it. So this is going to be a thing to kind of get things back into sync where they need to be. So I'll push up to trigger that guy, and I'll create a quick save. Now I'll go ahead and get rid of that guy now that we don't need him. He has served his purpose. Bye, guy. Alright. And now, when we resume, it should properly act like we just swapped memory cards. Indeed it is. Awesome. So, now, I can create a save here. There's something else I needed to do there, because he's not standing like he was walking into the town. That's an easy fix, so... Alright, so we'll pretend for a moment that, hey, the player has indeed quit the game, and now they've come back after having previously saved there, and it should be functionally functional. Indeed it is. The only thing I need to kind of change here is to make sure that apparently when I start up this map I actually do need to have them move down to the bottom of the map. Because even though I've set the start location of this card down here, it seems to me that it was only triggered when we're actually playing the game for real and not test play, is my assumption here. So I probably don't actually need to do anything, but I'm going to do something just in case, because right now I don't have a way to test my theory. I'm going to make sure that when you load up the card, it definitely starts you down there. And that should do that. So from here, it won't budge. This guy, talking to him, triggers the location of the floating island. You say you want me to join you? Sorry, I am keeping things... What is going wrong here? Why does that keep failing? What is... I'm doing something wrong here and I don't know what it is. If 2 is on... 2 is on... Okay. Did I set this to 2 or something? No, I set that to 3. And that's also set to 3. I bumped into the guy to turn off 2 and 3. I know I did. Oh. Well, there's my problem. I didn't write down that I used switch 2 already. It's kind of important to make note of that. Like, super duper important. So switch 2 is actually island unlocked. And switch 10, which I assume for real I have not used yet, that's the one we're going to use. So switch 10, Derastrix Spit. Very important to write down when you use these switches. Otherwise, you get lost like that. Actually, if you're using one of the PC RPG makers, it's a whole lot easier because you can actually label them within the editor itself. Sadly, no such option when you're in RPG Maker 1. You're going to have to write them down on a piece of paper or in a Word document, something like that. Alright, so now Daristrix is going to be a Spit Dragon. Let's go ahead and heal up. Managed to get the phone. We'll worry about that in a moment. First, heal up. This is that prize thing that I worked on earlier. Not actually going to worry about it. Something I should totally consider, though. I don't think I have the exits. Oh, yep. That needs to fixing. So, let's fix that. First, we'll make sure that the top of this entryway takes us to the burned version of Jenny's house. Correctly location. And inside the burned house, we need to make sure that these take us right where they need to. So, Buttertown, but the burned version of Buttertown. Oh, right. The trigger is in here to leave. Okay, Buttertown, but the burned version of Buttertown. And everything should be working properly now. So, talking to you would trigger the thing. We're ignoring you. You teach the spell. This time the phone didn't trigger, so bummer on that, I guess. We don't get the prize of the golden helmet. Walking out of here successfully brings us to the correct area. Going in here successfully brings here, and yeah, this is all working now. Hooray! And there's the floating island. So, gonna once again create a hard save. Gonna have to do a little bit of figuring on the money situation, by the way. I can't help but notice that after the trip through the fire dungeon earlier, we only have 226 coins. That's not going to afford us a whole lot more equipment. So I'll probably want to increase the amount of money the enemies in the Inferno give. But that'll have to come at some other time, probably in between streams. For now, though, it is time for another break. We're going to take another episode break, and when we come back, it's time to start working on the final dungeon. That's awesome.